Yes, well, whenever we're talking about personal transformation, self-actualization, intentionally choosing who we want to be and how we're, who we're becoming in the world, what we're really talking about is a form of conscious creation. And conscious creation, of course, is how we use our mind-body system to express and create certain types of experiences of ourselves out in the world, or in our own life, so to speak. But I like to start first by kind of defining some of the terminology that we're using, because it can kind of give us clues as to what we're really talking about or what the process is really about. And what I mean by that specifically is the word transformation. Transformation isn't so much change in the sense that we're going to actually change the core essence of the person or the basic nature of the person, but what it really says is that we're still working with the same core essence or basic nature of the person, but we're going to either remove some of the stuff that's prevented it from expressing a certain way, or we're going to re-emphasize some of the qualities, potentiality, characteristics, so that it expresses, or so that it takes on a different form and is able to express itself in a different way. So it's really about kind of doing some inner work, going in, kind of recapturing what your dream was, what your vision for your life was, your latent potential, qualities that are inherent within you, certainly your talent, your gifts, special abilities, that type of stuff, so that you can learn how to intentionally call those forth and bring them into expression. Now, the soul, when the soul comes into the world, or is birthed into the world, another way to look at it is the soul is kind of like a pattern. It's a custom design that has within it what we call a big pattern that is filled with fractal patterns or holographic patterns that are like smaller patterns that are identical to the larger pattern. And the larger pattern can easily be thought of as the dream or the vision that we have inside of us, of a certain type of story that wants to be told, right? That we have this compulsion to birth it, to act it out, to be the main character in a certain type of movie or a certain type of unfolding storyline. And the fractal patterns within the soul can be thought of as like archetypes, qualities, characteristics, talents that are ideal for telling that story, or that lend themselves perfectly to telling that type of story. So it's like if we had a character in a movie and the movie had an overall storyline, we would then look and say, okay, our main character, what qualities and traits and personality would this person have in order to perfectly tell this story? And so that's kind of like what we're doing in our life, is we came into this world to tell a certain type of story, and that's what is typically referred to as our destiny, our pathway, our purpose in life, our soul's essence, our true nature. All that stuff is describing this little pattern, this little seed, like indigenous seed that we were born perfectly designed to express. So that's what we're really talking about when we're talking about personal transformation and self-actualization, is becoming more of who you really are, learning how to express yourself in a different way so that you can move your life in a different direction, or you can change your persona, you can change your identity and even your personality to a certain extent to actually become a different type of person, the person that you were really born to be. Now, anytime that we're engaging in a creative process, we have to appreciate the need or the value of working with what we call an ideal. Now, an ideal can be thought of any artist that goes to create art, or a musician that composes music, a sculptor that goes to sculpt. We start with an inspired idea that we then hold into the mind, develop in our imagination, that we artists are in love with their subjects, right? A musician, when you compose a piece of music, you love it, you feel passionate about it. So we create in our mind in such a way that it's beautiful, or that we love it. We love who we're being, we love the kind of person that we are. And this this like blueprint or vision image of ourselves is what we use as our guidelines or the structured process for self-creating or for acting out certain types of qualities. I want to be more confident, I want to be more creative, I want to be lighthearted and playful, I want to be... When we're creating our ideal self, we don't need to create it in terms of our career path or what roles we're playing. What we really need to focus on is what qualities, how we want to be, what kind of a person we want to be, what personality and identity we want to take on. And if we develop certain qualities in ourselves, those qualities serve to develop our character, and our character will naturally have certain roles inherent in it or certain types of stories to tell. So by just developing the core essence, everything else will spontaneously unfold from it. Because many people, it's career path. No, it's what type of person you want to be, have a desire to be, and what career would naturally lend itself to that, or what career could you really see yourself in, or could you best express those attributes and qualities, to bring them to service to the community or to the world, however. But we have to start by training our mind to constantly ask ourselves the question, who am I, right? Who do I want to be? What kind of person do I want to be? What type of person? What kind of story really turns me on or really excites me or I feel really inspired by? And how could I not only develop myself, but learn how to tell the type of story that excites me and makes me feel alive and makes me feel really expressive, and I bring a sense of passion to it, because it's very important that this image, this vision of ourselves that we create, we want to fall in love with it. It's important that we imbue it with positive emotion, because that's what makes it compelling, and that's what, when we achieve it or when we become that person, we also simultaneously gain a sense of love for ourselves, right? Where we feel sexier, we feel more alive, and we really like who we're being. We like how we feel when we're being our ideal. So, but anyway, and the other thing about an ideal is it should be like a higher version of yourself that, as you aspire towards it, causes you to have to stretch and grow into it and really kind of apply yourself to become more in order to achieve it. Because this way you not only facilitate your own growth, but you also facilitate your own soul's evolution into becoming more, becoming better, becoming, a higher version of yourself. And not to mention that it's extremely fulfilling to do when we like who we're being, we like the kind of person that we are. It's very gratifying. It's almost an euphoric type of feeling. So, but anyway, so start training your mind to think in terms of positive. What you do want, what qualities you want to develop, how you do want to be, how you want to act, what you want to look like. So that you're constantly creating a positive image of yourself that you can then use for kind of like a template or the blueprint, basically, for designing yourself, sculpting yourself, right? Learning how to be in the world a little bit different, how to express yourself in different ways, ways that make you feel passionate and sexy and kind of that you enjoy doing. And like all creative processes, keep a light heart, make it fun, and kind of play at it, right? And if you mess up and don't do it right, okay, so what, right? Start again, right? It's kind of take two or scratch that and let's go try it again. Because repetition is important. So once you kind of get a way of being that you really like, repeat it. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, and next thing you know, it starts becoming automatic, and it just becomes a part of your basic nature, and you do it without even having to give it thought. But just remember to have a good time, bring a sense of joy to it, and live your life with passion. Have fun with this. This should be a fun process.